It's cleanup time! And I come prepared. Not only do I have these two mysterious leads in my inventory, he was not a man of globes. I have also crafted up a 4K storage part, and hopefully, if my math is correct, which it rarely is, I can craft up one more and... oh, almost. And 4K. Nice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the empty 4K I found in the treasure room and extract it from the housing, yielding me 3 of these. And now I want to upgrade it to this. Oh, but it requires a vault ingot. Can I even craft a vault ingot without having the research? Ah, I cannot. That's that's a bit of an oversight there in our crafting recipes. Whoops. I think I'm gonna fix that, because it doesn't really make sense that vault ingots themselves requires vault blacksmith. Iskall hotfixing patches while playing. Just a moment. And it should be fixed. Let's have a look. Can I now craft vault ingots? No. Yes, I can. That was a bit glitchy though, because essentially I would have to restart my game. But it works! My apologies for that oversight. There are a lot of things that I find while playing through my single player world. But, and speaking about patches, we are actually going to patch Vault Hunters this week. And I'm not speaking about the giant 118 update, I'm speaking about a patch that adds one new feature and fixes a whole lot of bugs for this current version. And now including that vault ingot oversight. I'll talk more about that patch in my next episode, because now, as I said, it's cleaning time. So I should now be able to craft me one, although there's a lot of black opal. I think it's one more perfect. Yeah, I should now be able to craft myself one of these. I just need a perfect boot die as well. And yes, 16K storage part. Oh, that's such a massive thing. It looks omega. Now this plus a storage housing, and there's my first 16K storage disk, which is gonna be great because now I have a lot more space in my storage system, which means that I can start to clean things up. Yes. I love vein mining chests. It's very satisfying. Wait, can I turn my magnet on? Yes, come here, my babies. Come to me and we shall go in the system. This may actually fill up my system. Most of these things, though, should go in drawers. I am now 85% full. Clean up my villagers. And some mushroom blocks as well. Now, I know for a fact that I don't have mushroom blocks in a drawer. And honestly, that may be a mistake, because this is so far over 4,000 blocks. 91% full with 2 crates to go. I think it would be a mistake to put them in the system after all. So I'm going to assign 3 new drawers and give them an iron upgrade each. And I'm gonna have to take all of the mushroom blocks back out and then put them back in again. That is the last of the massive amount of mushroom. 5,300 red and 4,900 brown. Yeah, that's a lot of shroomage. Looking a lot better. Hello, episode 31. And I love cleaning things under the carpet. No, I'm just kidding. Today, I'm gonna do something shocking. And I know I said that last episode, but today I mean something really shocking. Not just ninjaing all the mushrooms. I'm going to build a house. Very shocking indeed. Don't worry, it will get a lot more shocking soon. I'm gonna use these blocks, and then I'm going to need a bunch of sand, which I'm gonna turn into sandstone. I'm also going to need a healthy amount of quartz, as well as some red dye. Last but not least, some stone. And the machine has really been hard at work. Almost 100,000 cobblestone. With this, I should be able to make... alabaster. 8 stacks. And that may be enough. Actually, I'll just make up 1 more stack. And then I'm gonna dye it red. Yes. Look at that block. Very, very pretty. You may think it's concrete, but it's slightly different. And in my opinion, slightly better. Mostly because it has what concrete doesn't. slabs and stairs and walls and variations. Are we ever gonna get concrete slabs in Minecraft? Anyway, now, time to build that house. And I think I'm gonna build it right here? Yes. Well, that little montage ended up taking up most of my day, but I present my mushroom home. Because mushrooms are people too. Now this is my first shocking announcement. Well, at least if someone has decided to go with a modern city build. Never mind the machine's modernness. You see, we are not gonna do a city build for this world. And this was not an easy decision to make. I've actually been umming and ahhing about this for the past 2 weeks. But the problem is that I just don't have any inspiration to turn this island into a mega city. It's not really a build style that I mega enjoy, to be honest. It's all about scale and yeah, it just doesn't inspire me. Now, normally I would be a little bit too stubborn and I would just stare myself blind and just not get anywhere and eventually just end the series. But instead of doing that, I have decided to do a base that I want to do. And it all starts with my mushroom, which, by the way, I think turned out quite awesome, if I do say so myself. And no, there is no real symmetry in the base, because anyone who's seen a mushroom in real life knows that they are not symmetrical. It even leans a little bit, which I think is really, really cool. It did take a long time to make though, specifically because of the fact that I wanted to change up the blocks underneath to be this spongy looking, nice, cool mushroom stem version, which I'm also going to use as a floor for inside my mushroom. Mushroom blocks must be the weirdest blocks in Minecraft to work with. Also, that makes them kind of the coolest blocks. I don't know of any other block that has like this many variations or versions built in. I'm gonna need a new bed for this. A red bed. Yes. Brilliant. Yes. Aha! Check this out. Crimson door, fantastic texture, color difficult to work with. Ah, spruce colored awesome texture door. Yes. Yes. And they open. in case there would be a bad smell in there after a long night's sleep in my red bed. Home sweet mushroom. Ah, it's starting to feel rather homely, but there is one thing that I would like to do, which is a rather big project. And definitely not something that I'm going to get done in this episode, but to give you an idea, I would like to change out the mycelium of the entire island into grass and normal sort of nature looking things, which, come to think about it, is rather weird, because why then in the first place live on a mycelium island? It's a valid question, but I like mycelium islands, okay? But I think it would be really, really cool if eventually, over time, this entire island would just be like this little part here would be the mycelium part around the mushroom, and the rest would just be like natural, like grass looking terrain. and there should probably actually be some sort of transition. Wow, this is a very contrasty difference. It's the mycelium versus grass war all over again. Well, I'll get there eventually. This is literally just a tiny patch compared to the whole island. But honestly, it does give me quite a clear vision that this is going to look pretty awesome once done. And trust me, once I progress a little bit further in mods, I will be able to do this a lot faster. Now, I do realize that this mushroom, even though it's quite tall and there's actually space up here, is not very big for my base. It serves as a really good bedroom and sofa hanging place. Hello, feeling comfortable. But when it comes to my farms and all of that stuff, I'm obviously not going to fit everything inside this little area. Solution? I'm going to do something that I really enjoy. I'm going to put my base underground. Dun dun dun. I love these little windows, by the way. They're very cool. Now, to get underground, I am actually going to take a little tiny bit of a sidestep. And I'm going to spend 1 knowledge star on a mod that is very, very cool. Elevators. Luckily, elevators does not increase the cost of the utilities category at this moment in time, so I'm actually not losing any cost for Botania. And since I'm -2 on decoration, this test dummies will still just cost 1 for me to lower everything else again by 1. It does delay processing and it does delay farming, but elevators, they're pretty cool. Check this out. All I need is some wool and ender pearls, and that creates white elevators. And this mod is all about simplicity. It allows me to travel up and down with ease. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to put 1 elevator up here, and I'm going to put another elevator here, right underneath the first one. And now, if I jump on this elevator, I'm up here. And the sound is also very satisfying. Now, if I shift, I go back down. And if I were to extend this even further, I could, just a moment, have as many floors as I could imagine. That's 4 floors right there. And all I did was shift, and to go back up, I just jump. It's very, very satisfying. Very, very, very satisfying. Now, there is a max distance, and I also think there's a max amount of blocks that can be in between, but that's quite high. As you can see, I can get through blocks as well, so it doesn't need to be air blocks, which makes these very, very useful for going up and down. So, with that little demonstration, let's create a basement. I'm going to have my entrance to my basement right here, and I'm going to give myself quite a bit of space so I don't dig into the surface. Ooh. Well, hello there. Why level 50? Seems like a good random choice. I wonder if that will reach all the way up there. Oof. I think I can do it. Yes. That was a pro placement right there. Now, the cool thing with elevators is that I can actually have them mimic another block. A red elevator for now. Aha. Just like that. And now I can still use it as an elevator. Yes. Elevators are seriously cool. Now, time to do some digging. And this is where my new paxel, you know, the 3x3 oh my goodness, it's actually insta mining as well. My 3x3 paxel that I got last episode is going to help out loads, because, well, I want to dig out a fairly even and nice looking square room down here. And actually, I think I want to have a little pre-room, just a small little thing like this. Then I can put a nice fancy door here. This paxel is absolutely awesome. I love it. And just like that, that's an 11x11 room. Get some ceiling height as well. Now, this first little room is going to be my hub for my base underground. I'm picturing that I'll have pathways leading that way, this way, and this way. And I don't really want these pathways to be massively long, so maybe 5 blocks. Like that, and then the next room is going to come here. And this room, the room that I want to create today is going to be my workshop. Basically the room where I hang out the most. And as far as size goes, I'm not entirely sure. Wow, that's a lot of coal ore. 15 by 15 perhaps? This is great. I want to try and keep things simple and expandable, because as I progress through the mod pack, I'm of course going to unlock more mods, and therefore I'll be able to upgrade machines or change machines or add new machines. So I think this layout is actually pretty good, with this 15 by 15 room being my workshop. I mean, all things considered, I'm currently living with my workshop stuff behind the counter in a fairly empty warehouse, so I think a 15 by 15 room is quite an upgrade from this. And speaking of which, I am going to attempt to move my storage system and my energy regeneration system to that new warehouse. And when I say storage system, I mean this thing here. I'm not gonna move this stuff yet, although eventually my plan is to abandon this warehouse and perhaps blow it up. Don't be nostalgic, it's only been 5 episodes. I mean, it's cool and all, but as I said, I'm not really inspired to build more modern city builds. Good news! My mum called. Which means that I plugged everything in while I was on a phone call to her. It's still temporary when it comes to the power generation, but I think I've got everything set up the way I had it. And this cable is connected all the way over to the warehouse, which turned out to be quite a distance over a stack of cable used. But it connects up to the machine over here somewhere. Look, there it goes. And speaking about the machine, I am totally planning on moving this entire contraption into my new basement once I've got a little bit more space and a little bit more things done. But for now, my system is working and my dank dock has been replugged up with the filter and everything like that, so things are looking good. Well, things are looking awful at the moment, and I think it's time I do something with the design of this place. And I think I want to do something a little bit different, something that I usually don't do, which is using a palette that looks something like this. Very steampunky, but I'm not going to call it steampunky. I'm just liking these sets of blocks. The only problem is that my only source of these 2 bricks are from statues, so I don't have that many of them. But I think I can make something work. Now, playing a mod pack, there are a lot of cool blocks to use. And these framed glasses from Quark are one of my favorites. Check this out. I think they look the best in grey as well. These are absolutely gorgeous, I think. Although it doesn't really do it justice against the wall. But they tint the background ever so slightly. And I think that's really nice. There are also these mosaic? Yeah, mosaic windows. I wonder what they look like. Ooh, oh, they're multi-blocks as well. Wow, they look really, really cool. Anyway, as with anything, it's all about starting to get some blocks down and see what happens. I've had so much fun building with this palette. And even though it's taken me a couple of hours, I'm really happy. Because this is my workshop. And I gotta say, it really feels like a workshop. At least in my head. It's got the essentials, my catalyst tables, a stone cutter, my system hidden behind one of these mosaic trapdoor tiles. But it works. A mushroom in a pot, just to remind me of where I am. It's got a beautiful view. I've got a plan for the windows. Don't you worry. They're gonna make a lot of sense. And actually, just putting windows up in like in an underground build like this makes it feel a lot more open. It's got my dank dock, my vault gear stuff, my danks, and my safe. Currently empty. In the center, the vaulter, with some random stuff around it. By the way, these are actually enchanted books. It's very, very cool, but you can stack them like that, and you can build them quite tall. Very cool. Although I don't read that much. Gotta stay realistic. I've also got a secret compartment in the ceiling, but it's a secret, so we won't go there just yet. A blackboard with maths. These are actually really cool. Hello. Brilliant. It looks like a face with eyebrows and a mouth. Perhaps the most important contraption is this thing here. It's controlled by this crank, and it is a back scratcher. A big necessity. In all seriousness though, I also actually have my furnaces back here. I couldn't find a way to build them in because they're very, very green. So they're just hidden, but that functions. All in all, I'm super happy with how this workshop turned out, and I'm really glad that I used some granite, because this block is underrated. I know there are a lot of anti-graniters out there, but it's a good block. I like it. Also, the vaulter looks extremely cool built into these andesite casings, I think. Speaking about which, I wonder how it looks if I put a vault rock on there. Aha! That looks really cool, actually. I may actually be able to do this recipe. I'm a little bit short on basalt, but this is going to be a great way of testing how things work. So I should be able to just drop things out. Yes. Diamonds, and luckily I actually mismade lilacs when I needed peonies on another crystal, so they came to use now. And then that is a heart of the sea, which I happen to have one. Boom. 457 basalt, you say? I mean, I kind of have to see how it works and if it works with this button here. So to the nether it is. Which reminds me, I'm going to move this to my new basement hub. Basement hub. I seem to have a little bit of a problem. I may or may not have lost my pickerang. Oh, it's gone. This is not good. I guess I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Basalt may actually be the next farm I build, because I've actually never built a basalt farm, and I think they're pretty simple, with blue ice and soul soil and I can't remember. Ooh, this is scary. Oops. Stupid places. Quickly get out of there. But yeah, as I said, I've actually never built a basalt farm, and it feels like that could be quite fun. So that may be a project very, very shortly. Oh, that looks really cool on the table. Yes. Beautiful. By the way, this back scratcher was just a funny joke. It would be good to have some crystal storage near the crystal, so maybe having a barrel there. How about just on the side? Could it be instead of that? How about there? Yes, that will be my crystal storage. I feel really good about my workshop. It's functional, it's got gimmicks, and it actually smells quite good in here. And I gotta say, I am so happy that I took the decision to skip the modern city and instead, with the help of an elevator, build myself a mushroom with a basement. The warehouse feels very off right now. And the plan is to make this base very functional and expandable. So over this way, there will be another room to the side next to this. And that's when the windows come in play. I've got something really, really cool in mind. And I think the next room I'm going to make is going to be a storage room that will replace the drawers in the warehouse. And on that note, I may from here on forward, is that what you say? Here on forward, stream from my single player world without necessarily announcing it in a video. So if you don't want to miss anything from the single player world, I do recommend you to make sure you follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/iskall85. Now, of course, I'm going to make sure that if I do stream and make some base progress, for example, I will make some sort of recap in an episode. But I do love streaming, and every now and again, I get inspired to just play Minecraft in my world here. And right now, because I've pledged to announce it first, I haven't been able to do that. So yeah, that may happen in the future. And speaking about the future, next episode is Patch Day. As I said earlier, one new feature that I'm actually really excited to share, and a lot of recipe fixes by the looks of things. But even though this episode is only around 25 minutes, if my math is correct, that's gonna do it for today. This episode has actually taken me 3 full days to record in full, but I've had so much fun. And trust me, this new feature next time will mean that we're gonna run some vaults. So even though we didn't run one today, there will be a few vault runs in the next episode. Anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you enjoy my workshop as much as I do. If you did, please do hit the like button down below. And if you're brand new, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next episode.